The Light That Stayed.
The street was silent. Not the peaceful kind of silence filled with laughter and distant carols, but the kind that settles in after everyone has gone home. Christmas Eve had arrived quietly this year. No fireworks, no celebration, just stillness. The sky hung low, heavy with clouds. The wind carried the smell of rain instead of snow. At the very end of the street, one house still had its lights on. Inside that house sat Aaron. He hadn't planned to be awake this late, but sleep had become something that visited him less and less these days, especially on nights like this. Nights that came with memories attached. Memories of voices that used to fill the room, of laughter that echoed a little too loudly, of someone who always said, "Leave a light on. You never know who might need it." That someone was gone now. Aaron sat by the window, a mug of tea growing cold in his hands. The Christmas tree stood quietly in the corner, small, barely decorated, a few old ornaments, no star on top. It didn't feel right this year. Outside, the streetlights flickered. Inside, the clock ticked. He remembered Christmases that felt warmer. The smell of cinnamon, fresh bread in the oven, music playing in the background, a house that never felt empty. Tonight, it did. Then, a knock. Soft, hesitant, as if whoever stood outside wasn't sure they should be there. Aaron froze. No one ever came this late. Not anymore. The knock came again. For a moment, he considered ignoring it, but something, an old habit, or maybe an old promise, pushed him forward. He opened the door. A little girl stood on the porch. Rain clung to her jacket. Her shoes were wet. She couldn't have been more than 10. She held a small paper bag tightly against her chest. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "I didn't mean to bother you. I saw your light." "My light?" Aaron asked. She nodded. "Everyone else's is off." He looked down the street. Every window dark, every house quiet. He hadn't noticed, until now. "Are you lost?" he asked. She shook her head. "Not lost, just late." "It's cold," he said gently. "You should come in." She hesitated, then stepped inside. The warmth wrapped around her instantly. Her eyes found the Christmas tree, the soft glow of the lights. "My name's Lily," she said. "Aaron," he replied. She held out the paper bag. "My mum says you're supposed to share on Christmas." Inside, slightly uneven, homemade cookies. Something tightened in Aaron's chest. "Thank you," he said softly. She looked around the room. "You're alone?" Not a question. "Yes," he said. She nodded. "So is my mum. She works nights, at the hospital." "My mum says Christmas isn't about the day," Lily continued. "It's about what you do when it's hardest to be kind." "Would you like some hot chocolate?" Aaron asked. Her eyes lit up. "Yes, please." They sat at the table. Steam rose from their mugs. Lily hummed softly, swinging her feet. For the first time that night, Aaron smiled. "Why do you leave your light on?" she asked. He paused, then told the truth. "Because someone once told me it mattered." She smiled. "It does." Soon, Lily stood. "I should go. Mum worries." Aaron walked her to the door. "Thank you," he said, "for knocking." She grinned. "Thank you for answering." "Merry Christmas," she said. "Merry Christmas," he replied. The door closed softly. The house was silent again, but it felt different, lighter. Aaron walked back to the tree, opened a dusty drawer. Inside, a small star. He placed it gently on top. Outside, rain began to fall. Not heavy, not harsh. Just enough to wash the streets clean. Aaron sat by the window once more. The light stayed on. And somewhere down the street, a child walked home warmer than before. Because sometimes, Christmas isn't loud. Sometimes, it's just a light left on when the world feels dark. And sometimes, that is enough.